Well, hey, y'all.
Hey.
Happy Thursday.
Happy
Friday.
Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday.
It is. It's Easter weekend for everybody this weekend, which is really nice.
That it is. And it is also episode 35
What?
of Backcountry Couples.
It is.
I'm Johnny.
And I'm Colleen.
And that's halfway to 70, by the way.
I know, right? You didn't think he would miss that, did you? Like,
No.
come on.
Cheers, y'all.
And we'll cheers to that. Absolutely. Cheers, honey. Because we did look in the chat and we did see somebody was already pouring a drink in there. And I was like, we should probably pour a little cocktail ourselves.
Yeah.
So
Jason.
Jason. Anyway.
Doc.
And I think Doc was like, I second that emotion.
Yes.
So anyways, hey everybody. Welcome to Backcountry Couples. Like John said, we're the Kill Quest. And
We're the cool kids.
We're the cool kids. Sometimes we are.
There ain't nobody on any live stream can say that.
I don't think so, unless it's COOL, the
Right.
cool kids, maybe, but not like us. Anyways, we're excited to have you here.
Yes.
Couple things. One, if you are first here, welcome. And try and follow along, right? Make sure you give us a little subscribe and a
Hit
like
that subscribe button.
if you
hit
like
the bell,
what you
ding,
see.
ding, ding.
It's lots
Tell your
of
friends,
fun.
tell your neighbors,
yeah,
tell your aunt, uncle, sister, twice cousin, left removed.
twice cousins. And
Yeah, they have them.
right,
They have them.
right. And thanks everybody for sharing this out. We had a lot of really great shares this week as well. So that was really, really super. So
Super awesome.
thank you everybody with that.
If you missed last week's episode, make sure you go check it out.
It
Really
was so fun. We had
I'm
Miller.
sorry. Don't let the
I'm
beginning of
sorry.
your conversation interrupt the middle of mine.
I'll just be quiet over here.
That's a great idea.
Okay, keep talking. Who do we have, honey?
We had Mad Hippies.
We did. We had Miller and Debbie.
So go check them out.
So fun to chat with them.
Go watch the rewind if you missed it.
Rewind, absolutely.
Rewind.
The rewind, yeah. So that was really fun, obviously. And a couple things. We've had a really fun week ourselves. We've had some fun.
Other than work.
Well, we've been working, which of course that's fine. But we're planning our first backpacking trip, which we're coming up next weekend. So we're excited for that. We will share that a little more when we get closer to next weekend.
Yeah, just a little, John.
Just
Nothing
to get our feet wet, our hiking legs back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Going,
so
they're gonna freaking bark and.
I know. So I'm excited for that. We got some new gear that we talked about before that we had never used before. So we're going to try our new pillows, our spoons. We're not going to do our
Did you just say pillow?
Pillows, yes. It might be an Ontario thing, but I don't think so.
Do you get a glass of milk?
Yes, that is true. Anyways, we had some mail calls this week.
We did.
And we had I'm gonna show you this. You can show this. So we got a little note and it said we had an amazing time on the chat. Thanks again for having us, Mad Hippies. So thank you, Miller and Debbie, for that.
And they also sent us this really cool sticker.
And then I'm going to show this, but it's just not going to show anyways through the green screen. But I want to show you because it is.
It kind of does.
Kind of. So it's like the maybe not. It's the Colorado Trail Experience. So it's a really great little map of all the segments. And I feel like that was an enticement / invitation to come on down. So duly noted. And here we go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that is exciting.
Very awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Both very much for that. So we have obviously spots for our stickers, which is fantastic.
Of course. We have a Subaru.
We do, which is full of stickers.
He's not full.
He's not full yet?
He's got plenty of room.
And then we got another little surprise note, which is a beautiful card. Again, it's green, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And here's the little note too. You ready? It says, "Hello, Johnny and Colleen. Just a quick old-fashioned note to tell you guys we love your show. Keep up the great work, Carol and Glenn." So that is from Canoe for Change. So thank you so much, Carol and Glenn. That was so sweet. We're like, what? That
was so awesome. It's like.
Yeah, John was like, he's like, you got mail.
We have a little Canada Post here. I'm like, what's
I know. So that was really, really awesome.
Very, very pleasant. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to us.
And
a lot.
It does. And another thing that has kind of popped up that we didn't know how we wanted to handle But I think we figured it out. So people have been so awesome and supportive and said, hey, how can we like be supportive of you two? And we're just like, I don't know.
I mean, okay, first and foremost,
and we're not
I don't look for that kind of stuff or or ask for it. But
so
we've had a few people ask.
We did. So we started this Buy Me a Coffee link. Okay. So I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's on our main page. So thank you for everybody who's asked us to do that. And we appreciate that in advance. But yeah, it's on our main page. John put it in the chat, but I mean, don't be pressured. We just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity for us to be able to put that out there. So
sure.
That was really, 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 really nice. Like John said, it is Easter weekend. Okay, right. So hopefully everybody has tomorrow off.
Nope.
All my wonderful Canadian friends. I'm sure you have Easter Monday off because we have 1,000 holidays in Canada and we love that.
Yeah, those makeup holidays. Oh, it's the May long weekend coming up.
No, that's right. It's called a little work-life balance. Isn't that nice? That's why we're all so happy in Canada, honey. Isn't that nice? No.
What's that one made up one in like November?
Not November. No, you think Civic Holiday is made up, but that's an Ontario holiday. That's not every province or territory. No. But anyways,
we always like to thank our sponsor, Mick Fire Starters.
Oh, I'm wearing the hat. I forgot I had the hat on.
I
do. So go ahead, honey. What do you got?
Y'all go ahead over to mickwickfires.com. Check out their stuff. Their product is awesome. Mm-hmm. All natural. Mm-hmm. Burns for 20 minutes.
It does too.
Not for 5 minutes. It's
right.
And if you do head over to Mick Fires, you get fire starters or swag.
Yep. You got it, honey.
There we go. Yeah. Use the code KeelQuest. Make sure you hit
That's spacing.
Put a space in there. Yeah. No space, no discount.
I know.
You have a space, you get discount.
You are good. And so our guests get a little 4-pack from Mick, which is awesome. They are sourced and made here in the Pacific Northwest. Mm-hmm. So we do love that. That's
Patrick
amazing.
And his team do an awesome job out there.
They are incredible. Absolutely. So they're also lightweight, which is perfect for backpacking. They're waterproof, like you said, which is great for any upcoming season that's going to be rainy and wet and everything coming up now,
especially this time of the season.
So that is going to be wild. Let's say hi to our chat, honey.
Oh,
let's go right to the very beginning because I feel like.
Well, I got it.
He's got it.
I got this thing. Of course, Doc was first.
Was Doc first?
Yes.
Hi,
Doc. Live Today Wonderland.
Jason, hey.
What's going on, Big Daddy?
We had Big Daddy mac and cheese today. It was so from Indiana. It was so good. And John was like, should we film it? Like, should we like send it over to him? I'm like, oh my God, no. But anyways,
we got Dustin's in the house.
Dustin, hey.
My mom. Glenn.
Oh, you missed Kenny for Jane, Glenn and Carol. Oh, no, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I was getting ready to say.
So thanks again for the stickers and that lovely note. That was absolutely like.
The brothers are in the house.
Brothers camping. Hey.
Mad hippies.
Oh, did we say mom?
Yes, I said mom's in the house.
I missed that. Sorry.
Yes, All Terrain Coffee and Camping.
Jason, hello.
Hello. Tangent Trails.
We got Mark is in the house. Mark on. Hey. Brad, what up? Oh, Backcountry Paddlers. Thanks, Mark. He's double dipping right now. I like that.
Mark.
Diane. Hello. Nice to see you.
Darren's here. Right Paddle Repeat.
Right Paddle. Darren, hello. Oh, actually, he's on my notes tonight too. That's
Mr.
funny.
Kelly.
And Dawn. Hello. So a couple people have come over from.
And our friends from just north of us.
Who we got here?
Forrest the Canoe.
Hi.
That ice is getting smaller and smaller up there. I was watching. It's like, but that's still a lot of ice.
It is a lot of ice up there still. I know.
That's a lot.
They did a really fun April Fool's joke up there. So try and catch out their Instagram for that. That was really fun.
Yeah. But it's called Forrest the Canoe.
Right. And what we were going to say about that was we want to connect with you guys because we are heading up that way again soon. And we need a little border trip to the north of the border. It's not very far for us. to go that way. So anyways, that was in our thoughts. We thought, look, how can we do this? And, kind of get a little trip in over the summer. So
we can be across in less than 5 hours.
That's right. So when we get to our new spot, right, we thought, oh, that'd be really nice. So excited for that.
Everybody, check everybody out.
Right on. Absolutely.
All right. Without further ado.
And I do want to say one more thing. I see there's a couple people in the house that came over from Canoe Hound. So thank you for that. And it was really fun to see Dennis on Tuesday. He celebrated his
100th
episode. So he's been amazing in this back.
He's got over 5,000 subscribers now.
I'm not sure what his number is there, but I just think it's
pretty amazing.
The
3 seasons
connectivity of 3 seasons of chatting with people. And when it was
fun. We got to be on the show for a hot minute. So
we did. And where I was going with that was that I lost my train of thought, honey. Oh no.
No comment.
Oh no. Hang on. Well, yeah. No, I got it. Too bad. Is that Canoe Hound does seasons, and we weren't going to do a season. And we have, obviously, including tonight, will be 35 people that we...
35 couples.
35 couples, that's right, that we had chatted with. And we have a few more after that. We're going to end up at 42 couples. So on that note, if you didn't catch it last week, we are going to stop Backcountry Couples for the summer on June the 2nd.
Because we got a lot of stuff going on. And no offense to anybody, but yeah, we'd like to get out a little bit too.
I know. So we got lots going on.
To do all this, it takes a little bit of time and effort.
Yeah. And not just for us too. I mean, everybody else is going to get out as well. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So excited for that. And again, I was going, yay, Canoe Hound. Yeah. And it was, John said it was a long night. I think it was like 5 hours or 4 and a plus hours.
I don't know. The last time I looked, it was at 10:44. They were still on, and I was like,
okay, my God.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, we were going to bed. That's crazy. So super, super excited. So welcome to Backcountry Couples.
Yes.
One more other thing too. If you are a backcountry couple and you're watching right now,
and if you know a backcountry couple,
right?
Doesn't have to be in a relationship. It could be an association.
That's right.
A collaboration.
Yep. Or something supportive, like a supporting role.
Yes.
Like the Oscars. We I don't know. Anyways.
Wow, you're stretching there.
I know I was. It's fine. But reach out to us. Okay. So we have 2 more spots to fill actually before the end of the season. So I'm excited for that too. Lots going on.
Yeah. Blue Water Overland.
He keeps doing this. All these little shout outs.
I had a tickle in my throat.
Oh my gosh. So
all right.
We're excited. Again, I always get excited when because we chat with new people, and even the our 10 minutes in the green room is I'm always like, we've just met new friends. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I like that. It's amazing. You just connect, and it's just, I don't know.
Everything clicks.
Kind of like everybody who's in the chat and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You just kind of resonate with everybody, and it's just, it's pretty awesome. So, do you know one thing? It has been since February that we've had somebody on the show from Canada. And it was Darren. It was Ride, Paddle, Repeat. Darren and Karen were on the show in February. It was the last time we had any red and white representation. So tonight's the night.
Dang.
Tonight's the night, everybody. I'm excited.
It sound like it's a bad thing.
No, I just feel like we're due. This is it. So I'm going to rock the house Canadian style tonight.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, I can get you a flag, honey. Do you want a flag? Okay.
No.
All right. I know. Maybe I should do that
There's
next
plenty
time.
of them around here.
We have. I know we do. We got lots. We're good. Pretty good. All right. Let's do this.
All right.
Let's get
I'm
her.
gonna read.
You're gonna read?
Do you want me to read?
No, it's bad. There's big words.
Come on, you. You're killing me.
Anyways, let's get this going. Welcome to Backcountry Couples. Like John said, it's episode 35. We're bringing Canada back this week. And like I said, tonight we're excited. We are excited to chat with this Muskoka area couple who love exploring Ontario's backcountry and crown land. They don't claim to be experts, but they are enthusiasts. So welcome from Ontario camping couple, Rob and Sabrina.
Hey guys.
Oh,
hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
Hey. Cheers.
So much for coming on the show.
Welcome. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you for thinking of us.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
You're so welcome.
Salud.
Absolutely. That
on that note, wait.
What?
You guys brought up Buy Me a Coffee. We didn't know you guys were on there. But I got an email at 10 after 6, and I had to run to the store. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Kit Kat.
We're gonna enjoy that later.
So awesome. Yeah, like we didn't know anything about that. I was like, how are we gonna do it? And then we found it, and then we dug a little bit deeper with you guys, and I was like, oh, they got it too. So that's right. There's a Kit Kat for you.
Yeah. So thank you for the break.
You're welcome. Right on. Thank you so much. This is so amazing. I still can't believe we didn't find you earlier. Like I just.
Well, we I think I don't think we really started putting anything out until February. Like, I mean, the last couple of years we did a lot of camping, a lot of kayak fishing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I think it was New Year's.
Yeah.
This was New Year's. We had made a decision that the world was was getting crazy.
With COVID and just.
Yeah. And we thought, you know what? We're going to get rid of everything we own and we're going to spend 8 months out into the backcountry.
Right on.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going to try to stay right out till Christmas. And then we as we were talking about it and trying to plan it, we started thinking about all the people that we had met and we had talked to who were, I don't know, the depression was kicking in with them. They didn't know how to get it. They didn't know how to get out of their isolation and stuff like that. They didn't even know where they could go for a staycation or anything because it was too expensive. They couldn't afford it. Right. So we thought that we would incorporate while we go out. I thought, well, why don't we start filming this stuff when we go and go find places where they can go camp on Crown land and not have to pay the fees. Not that there's anything wrong with paying the fees.
No, we have beautiful parks here.
Beautiful parks, absolutely. But you know, it can get pricey, you know, like especially now that they're starting to change the backcountry camping in the parks to match the rates with the family campings in the actual campgrounds, right? So you figure if you take your family to a park, you know, $45 for a night with all the amenities, that's great. But then you get a solo camper who heads out into the backcountry of Algonquin Park and he's got to pay the same rate. And I mean,
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like $45 and change. I don't think Algonquin's doing it this year. I'm not sure. I know there's one park that's still doing it, but it's I
don't know.
You know, for one person a night, that's pretty. It is pretty steep, you know.
It is.
And
it is very, very pricey.
So we thought, you know, so we figured, you know, there's people out there that want to escape but really can't afford it, you know, and that's why even some of our gear, like if you go through some of our gear, we didn't spend the money on the top-notch gear that guys
couldn't
like
afford the top-notch gear.
like you know, like the stuff that like Marty Morissette recommends and stuff like that. So what we did was we took a whole bunch of stuff that we figured your average household could afford.
Yep.
And then that's what we're going to camp with, you know, and we'll see how it goes.
Right on. I can't wait to hear about that. Yeah. How did you guys meet?
Yeah. How'd y'all go?
We've been talking about this for.
Okay. So where do you think we met?
I thought we met at like because we both grew up in Bolton. Yeah. The local pool hall or the donut shop. That was the thing.
But I think we met at a Monty Python acid and mushroom fest at one of our girlfriends' houses on a weekend.
I don't think so.
Hi, Alina, if you're watching.
Hi, Alina.
Okay.
Well, the second one sounds more interesting.
But you said that was, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Come on.
7, I think I was probably about 19, maybe 20.
Oh, shush.
No, that wasn't me then, because.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a long time ago.
We've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She was actually
15, 16.
Our first camping experience.
was it Dick's Dam? That was just like by the
in Bolton.
By the Humber River.
Yeah, it was just a quick overnight in the tent. She was actually my oldest son's gymnastics teacher.
Okay.
When he was little. Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we kind of grew up together in the same crowd and stuff, and we drifted apart for quite a few years because you know we both wanted to. She did everything right. She traveled Europe, did all that stuff. I left when I was I don't know. I ran away from home at 11, and then I spent most of my teens and a bit of my 20s hitchhiking all over North America. Yep. So, yeah.
That's great. So
were you all of a sudden we just kind of drifted.
That's amazing. What? I love when you connect like that. That is so good. So were you?
Yeah, it had been a long time.
Yeah. Outdoorsy then, like if you're, backpacking around.
I was, when we were kids, we had 50 acres in Wilberforce, which isn't too far from Algonquin Park. Okay. Yeah, and so my brother and I grew up in the forest and stuff like that.
So you're no stranger.
Yeah, and then hitchhiking all over North America, back in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. It's quite different from now, but back then, when I left, I don't even think when I first left the first time, I didn't even have a backpack with me. I went with my clothes on my back and $40 in my pocket, and I hitchhiked to Florida, Cocoa Beach, Florida. Yeah,
Canadian dollars too.
Whoa!
So that's like
Canadian dollars. So I had like $2 American, right?
Right on.
Yeah, and so, and that's, I've always loved it. There's always been a draw for me in the outdoors, and. On the long weekends, all with our friends and stuff, we were always at like Go Home Lake or Kill Bear and stuff like that. And I think I'm also a wanderer. My mom used to say I'm a wanderer. Like I just love to roam. I don't like being in one spot, and I think that's why I spent so much time running away from home as a kid and then hitchhiking as I was older.
Just getting out there.
Yeah, and then I got away from it for a while because I got into. I got into music and into the radio station and stuff like that, and promoting, throwing concerts and stuff. And my life took a whole different turn. And I got away from all that. And I think it was about 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. I hit a really dark spot in my life. My mom I went through a couple of really bad things. It started off that I ran over a construction worker on the highway. He ran out in front of my car, and then everything just seemed to spiral after that and it got really dark. And then I wound up coming up to Washago and spent about 4 days in my room trying to recoup about everything that had gone on in the last 4 years. Then I got in a kayak and got on the water at 4:30 in the morning. I didn't get back till 8 o'clock at night.
Oh my God.
Then I started doing that every day. And you would not believe the focus that you can find in yourself, like to get. I know I'm gonna start.
I love it.
It was just. It's amazing what nature can do for you. Like just it brought me back to myself. Like it was just unbelievable, unbelievable. But yeah, so it was almost 2 years that I every day it was 4:30 in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night on the water, nonstop. And then I went down to the city and ran into Sabrina again.
Stole me away and
brought her up here. Yeah, and then we started going. I took her out kayak fishing, and then all of a sudden we started doing overnights on islands with no tent, just a tarp, and it's and now we're here.
That is amazing.
So, wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
Sabrina,
then and I think
me. Yeah. When I was growing up, I was either at school
real quick,
in
guys.
the gym or outside.
Do you got
so I grew up doing gymnastics
in the background?
Oh, I can hear is your volume up?
You got your
I can turn that down.
Yeah, just hit the mute on that.
How's that?
Perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah, we're just getting a little backfeed, that's all.
There you go. Yeah. So say it again, sorry.
So I was either in school or training at doing gymnastics or playing outside. I was constantly doing something, but I had a few good opportunities to travel, and I was able to, I did backpacking and canoeing and stuff in the southern part of Africa for a couple months. So that's a little bit different when you're on the Zambezi. Canoeing, and you have crocodiles and hippos, and then you have hyenas poking at your tent, and then lions sleeping a few hundred feet away. And that's a little.
Were you on the show alone?
Well, talk about being on the food chain menu.
Holy moly!
So I've I've had the opportunity to travel a little bit and kind of in Costa Rica too. I did some backpacking around there, and Europe was fun, but I think Africa was pretty wild.
That's a wild an understatement.
Ontario is just beautiful. Yeah.
Holy
Ontario's just beautiful. I've been across Canada too a few times, and I absolutely love BC. BC is amazing. The East Coast is amazing, but Ontario, there's a lot to offer.
So much.
There's there's so many beautiful places in this world. And
it's like the old 80s commercial. It's yours to discover.
Yeah, totally.
Yours to discover for Ontario. That's right. Absolutely.
Do you remember that?
Of course I remember that.
That's a plug.
Yeah, it
Good
is.
things grow in Ontario.
That's good things grow in Ontario. Exactly.
So the beginning of this year was a big change for. Well, no, it was last year. We decided we were going to start doing a sustenance kind of lifestyle. Started to get into hunting and stuff. Yeah. Growing our own stuff and foraging, and so that's how we're going to spend the next 8 months. I mean, because we've decided that we're going to share it with people, so that if anyone else wants to go to places that where we're going to go, we have to come out at the end of every trip for a couple of days to do all the editing and the uploading and thing. But the one good thing about YouTube is, like, this trip now that we're going to go on, we're looking at about 10 to 12 days we leave May 3rd. Hopefully. Yeah. We're waiting on one more delivery, and it might delay us by about 4 days. And it's the most important things. It's our dry bags and our barrel harness, right?
Okay.
Still need some first aid stuff.
Yeah. So when we get back, I can edit that into like 5 parts.
Okay.
So and if I put one out a week, that gives us 5 weeks to go off and do another one. So that's the one bonus about YouTube with the scheduling and stuff. So But yeah, we are gonna come out at the end of every trip for about 4 days to replenish some stuff that nature can't give us. But the rest of the time, we're gonna try to live off the land. So
right on.
That's
I
awesome.
still,
or at least observe it.
Right, I know. I still can't believe that nobody had Ontario Camping Couple as their name.
I know. When I did the research for it, the only thing that ever kept coming up when I would Google it is like romantic couple vacations at a cottage. That's the only thing I could ever find, right? I'm like, okay, well, this is what we are.
Yeah, no, I love, and I mean, your logo's awesome. Like, I love that. It depicts everything that you guys are. You know what I mean? But I was like, when I saw it, I was like, this is professional. I like that. So.
Oh no, I did.
It's all Rob.
I did that on Canva in like 20 minutes.
Hey, it looks great.
Good. It looks good.
It took me days.
Right. So once we found you,
can't rush perfection.
That is a true story, right? I know. So when we found you guys, and the same thing, it was just like, you can take that down. I was just like, first of all, I can't believe that you guys found Ontario Camping Couple that was not taken. That's just crazy. And then I was like, oh my God, they totally they canoe and they backpack and they're everywhere. You're doing everything in every season. So totally love that, obviously. And then you're like everywhere. I was like, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram. You guys have your own your web page, of course, and YouTube. So we kind of looked a little bit further into your website. And honestly, you guys are so lovely. I'm not lying. So I just was like, I said to John, I'm like, I love these two. Like I'm not lying. So obviously there's a war in Ukraine right now, and we never talk about like news or politics or any of that kind of stuff on here at all. But this really resonated with you two, and you guys kind of took it a bit further. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you want to talk about this one? So what they did was put that on their love. Yeah.
So what y'all did, you created some swag.
Yeah. Where'd it go, love? Hang on. So tell us about these sweatshirts, what you were doing, who was benefiting, all that stuff.
It was the Humanitarian Coalition. I came across them during a news feed or something. And Sabrina and I talked about wanting to be able to do something. Now, there's only so much money that we could give because, you know, I mean, we're buying thousands of dollars of gear because we're going away for 8 months. So I thought, you know what, we've got this drop shop. Why don't I take some of the stuff that I was going to get as tattoos that I believe in and put them up, you know, like spread love like violence. Like I've got that tattooed on my chest. It's like, you know, it's something I very much believe in. And then the teach peace and the stop hate. So we designed the sweaters, and then anything that was sold, the proceeds, nothing even came to us. It went directly to the Humanitarian Coalition.
That's awesome.
But we also put a link up. I think they were $65, the hoodies.
Okay.
So I realized when I was designing them at the base price that
not everybody can afford that.
After COVID, that's pretty expensive. You know,
sure
like before COVID, people were dropping $80 to $100 on like Roots track pants, you know, and beaver canoe and stuff like that.
Right.
So I arranged a link that they could go in, and if they couldn't afford the sweater, that they could click this link and they could go in and donate 5, 10, 50, whatever they could afford, whatever denomination. I think the campaign might have ended now. I'll have to go and check, but I did check with them. Only one sweater sold, which was fine, but we had 295 clicks through.
So Humanitarian Coalition.
Yeah. We don't know how much money yet, because the communication with them at the end of the day, we're small fry for what they're dealing with. So who knows when they're going to get back to us, right? Like,
but at least it was another place for people to go and get some more information, be able to do something, or at least get educated at the minimum, right?
Yeah.
Get educated.
So, you know, I look at it like if 295 people hit that link, if 200 of them donated $5, that's $1,000. That at least,
right?
You know. So
yeah.
So, but I won't know any of the numbers. I don't even know if they get back to me. Like, obviously, they're so. Like I said, we're like a gnat on the wall. They probably don't even remember that I designed the link with them, right? Like, they're probably like, yeah, I have the link. We're busy, right? Yeah. So. Yeah.
I just thought that was absolutely incredible, and like kudos to you for doing that. So obviously you get inspired. Like, this is exciting. And there's a part on your website too that has what inspires you guys, or who inspires you. And you have this eclectic group of people, and I was like, I like it, because I mean, for different reasons, they all are probably integral to what you guys are doing. You know what I mean?
Yes. You know, and there's still a lot of people that have to go up in there. And I'm hoping I can get most of them up, and I get responses back from them before we leave. So, but yeah, actually, you know, I think one of the first things that ever inspired me to, run away from home was Jeremiah Johnson. Like, Jeremiah Johnson. I remember watching that movie as a little kid. And Jeremiah Johnson.
That's the name of the movie.
That's the name of the movie. And I was sold.
I don't know.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm that's it. I'm going to be an explorer. I'm going to be a trapper.
What is it about? What is this?
Jeremiah Johnson?
Yeah.
He was a fur trapper. And back in the day, around when the Hudson's Bay and all that stuff was going on.
Okay.
And he was also, I don't want to get this wrong, but I think he was also like one of the first real mountain men.
Voyageurs.
Yeah, Voyageurs. Yeah.
Voyageurs.
So,
Voyageurs.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in quite a while, but I remember watching it as a kid and just being captivated with this guy in a raccoon hat with an old rifle and off into the wilderness, you know.
Right.
So
yeah. That's funny. Well, there you go. Yeah. Carlson Adventures. He knows them, and Delta Ray hasn't seen it in years. Well, there you go. It's going to get a big hit.
Yeah, that's good.
That is awesome.
You know, and it's funny about those things with the people that inspire us over the last couple of days. One of the things I love about Sabrina is that she totally brings balance, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm an egotistical Superman. Like, I know everything, I do everything. And if I don't, there's no moderation with me. Like, there's no medium. It's either you go all the way or you don't do it at all. There's no moderation.
Right.
And she brings that balance. So as we were getting ready for this trip, she keeps saying, "What about this?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got it covered. Don't worry." And then I hopped onto Marty Morissette's page one day.
Yes.
And I was like, damn, I almost forgot how to tie that knot. So we went through all his videos. Yeah. And started, and so it's stuff like that that's inspiring, because whether you're new or whether you've been doing this stuff for a while, new people have got to learn it. And the guys that have been doing it for a while, there's going to be stuff that you think you remembered, but you don't even remember that you forgot it.
That's right.
So
that is so true.
So that kind of stuff is great, because it helps out the community,
It does.
Yeah.
And then when you guys said, okay, we're going to get together, we're going to start like this YouTube channel and website and everything else. I mean, that was like prime winter camping season. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just this past winter, right? Mm-hmm. So you guys camped together, you guys soloed. You did a couple of things that were kind of fun. One was you did this, the 10 household items.
Yeah, what was that?
That you would take to camp with you.
Oh she hated me for that. She hated me for that.
It was just
it was minus 18.
I was just cold. I was miserable. You had to deal with me being miserable.
The premise was you were going to take 10 things, right? 10 household things, and go camp in the go camp in the winter.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. And it was just 10 things that your average Joe, just your average person would have lying around the house.
Some real
not going to cost you any money.
What's that?
Not going to cost any money. You already got it laying around.
No, you've already got it laying around the house. Got it. Like the tarp we used was, most people have got a kid that's in soccer or baseball or something, so they got those pop-up canopies. And if they don't have kids, there's a chance that they've got one because they go hang out at the beach or whatever. So they've got these pop-up canopies. Okay. So we took that off our pop-up canopy. The rope, nylon rope. Invest in paracord, man. Nylon rope is the worst thing in the world.
But you can do it. That's the point. Is you can do it.
But you can do it. You can do it. Yeah. So it was pretty cold that night, and but I mean, it's like I joke around in every video where I always say like I'm living like a king, and that comes from when I was when I ran away from home as a little kid, and I was hitchhiking all over. Yeah. There's nights that I go into back alleys and I'm sleeping on concrete with a concrete curb for a pillow. So I got a sleeping bag. I don't care if it's minus 20, man. I got a fire and a sleeping bag. Yeah. I'm living like I'm a millionaire.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys like to challenge yourself, right?
You have to.
And you have to. I agree. Like I feel like every time, not every time we go out, but
to
we
a
do.
Point. I mean,
to the push the limits
to a point. Be safe.
I agree. Okay.
You have to be safe.
See, and that's the balance. That's the balance.
Right.
I go out with nothing but my hunting knife and a little bit of rope. I would, and a fishing rod maybe. I would, and I'd love it, but
Okay.
Well, this is from the girl that like slept beside lions, so I don't know what
Oh gosh. So
but I feel that if you don't go out and you don't push yourself and you don't get outside, when it gets to the point when you get a little bit older, your days will be numbered. Like you've got to keep moving. You have to keep moving. And I'm not talking about walking down the sidewalk in a city doing this on your phone. Put it down, get rid of it and go.
Yeah.
If
this world is such a beautiful place, you have to take the time to enjoy it. We have the opportunity to enjoy this wonderful place, and
I don't want to stop. Like you look at these old voyageurs and these old mountain men, and and that documentary we watched the other day, The Last Guide.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. I forget his name. I can't believe I forget his name. He was the last
guide in Algonquin Park.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really good.
Write that down.
I'm gonna write that down.
Really
watch, I think. Yeah. Take a look.
And you look at those guys, and some of them didn't live very long, but you look at some of those guys, and cool. they lived to be quite a decent age.
But you can see that serenity on their face.
Yes.
You can see that the wisdom and the serenity on their face. It's just,
I love it.
And the peace.
Yeah.
And the peace within themselves, you can see that. And that's out of everything. As long as I can find that, is when we get out in the bush, I find that peace. And if I die out there, I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Because I'm at that peace. I've I'm away from all this stuff that's going on nowadays in the world. And there's just, I don't know, I guess unless you've been out in the bush for an extended period of time, maybe they don't understand. And I don't really know how to put it into words, but it's just this, this center of yourself and this serenity that comes over you,
For sure.
Yeah.
So did you have that when you were doing this? Like you guys did like a little bushcraft kind of shelter thing?
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes. I every time I'm out, and you know what, even if we just walk 10 minutes from the house and there's some public land that we can just throw up a little campfire on and spend the night out there. As soon as I get outside and away from this hustle and this bustle and stuff, there's this sense of calm and peace that comes over me. And I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know.
You just go like, like as soon as you just get there.
It's like
just a cleansing kind of thing. I don't know.
You touch a tree and you walk out and it's like,
it just feels so.
It's like when you sit on your big comfy couch for a long day. It's just like that.
Yeah. It is. And and if people watching haven't experienced that,
or if they can, if some people just if there's a way that we can bring that kind of, if people can watch and feel that kind of peace through our shows and through the community, because there's a lot of people that for one reason or another will never be able to experience that. So if we can give them a little peace, then that's amazing.
There are people that'll never be able to get to experience that because of their situation.
So you got this countdown, right? The countdown's on your website. I love. It's a great idea. I love that. I'm like, I might take that idea.
She hates it.
I think we'll be off a little bit, but that's okay.
I love that
Anything that has to do with the, all this, the Instagram and all this, that's all Rob.
Okay, so it's always Rob.
You should have the countdown and just put the little word
ish
on the end of it.
Ish.
That'll be my
little asterisk that says depends on Amazon.
That's right. So tell us about the countdown of the first part of the trip is coming up.
Okay, so the first part of the trip, we are leaving from Bala.
Yep.
I forget the name of the first river that we're going through, but we're going through the Wata. We're leaving Bala and we're going into the Wata Nation. We're going to go through the Wata Nation. And when we come out of there, we're going to go into Gray Lake.
Okay.
And then once we come out of there, Gray Lake, we shoot across and we head south, and that takes us into Go Home Lake. But what I'm going to do is I should have sent you guys our main map. So you can see
I tried looking it up, but it was hard for me. I was trying to follow kind of what you were saying. We were just like, so okay.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a copy of it so you can see it.
I'd love to see it.
And then once we get to Go Home Lake, depending on what the weather's like, I'd like to venture out into Georgian Bay a little bit more. But we'll see how that goes when we get there. Right. And then so basically we're gonna go down into McCrae Lake.
Yep.
Now I know McCrae Lake is Crown land, and it has become over the years, it's quite the party place now. Like
hopefully we get there before.
Yeah. And one of the things about Crown land is it's awful now. Like people are leaving garbage and it's basically like going to Wasaga Beach now. It's
you're kidding.
Jam-packed. No, it's crazy. It's nuts.
Oh my God.
I've never been. I don't know. So
we'll find out. And what I'm hoping,
crazy.
I'm hoping to do is find, like, we're going really early in the season. Like May 2-4 won't be for like 3 weeks after we get there.
May
2 to 3 weeks after we get there. May 2.
It's an important one.
Yes, it is. Agreed.
It is.
I got a 2-4 in the fridge right now.
Exactly. And the thing is about Crown land, if you're in the southern part of Ontario, it can get pretty occupied. When you get to the northern part, there's so much. Right. But there has to be times on that Crown land if you don't want to go run into these crowds, that there's certain days, and that's what we're going to try to find. That's why we're going to McCrae Lake so early. You know, to say if anyone you don't have to take the extreme route we did.
Sure.
I mean, you could drive to Honey Harbor, jump in, rent a boat, and drive up there, no problem, or jump off the highway and do a quick little portage in.
Sure.
We're taking the extreme route all the way up and around.
Of course you are.
Of course, yeah. But you know, we want to be able to find crown land in the southern area for people that want to get out without having to pay the campground fees. But
places where at least you can have some easier access.
Okay.
So you're able to enjoy it.
Yeah, and where
parking,
and find dates when it's not so crowded.
Right. No, I understand that.
And that was my premise of doing McCrae Lake right off the bat, is because I know come May 2-4, that the whole summer the place is going to be packed, and I think until maybe September-ish, and then late fall it kind of trickles off, right?
Guaranteed.
Not everyone's hardcore and go out and camp in the fall and the winter, right?
Right.
So I want, if we can get there,
exactly.
Yeah. So that was the premise on this trip, was you know, McCrae Lake. We're figuring it's going to take us about 5 days to get there.
Okay.
And then we're going to spend about 5 days in there. We're going to probably go to a different campsite all around, because another thing too is I haven't been there in about 15, 20 years. So I want to be able for myself. I want to go see if it's as bad as everybody is saying it is now.
You. Okay.
You know, and then and then clean up some garbage while we're there too.
Always.
And then we're going
to do that.
Yeah.
Always.
And then when we come out, we're just going to go to Honey Harbor, and my uncle's going to pick us up from there.
So how long is this one going to take? This leg?
Knock on wood, it should take 10 days.
Like the whole thing from beginning to end.
So that's not crazy.
No, not this one.
No,
how many kilometers
the only crazy part. I think to McCrae Lake, I think it was the way the crow flies. I think it was about 65 kilometers.
Yeah, but
from
the
here.
thing, it's like this.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So as the crow flies, it's 65. So it's not 65. It's probably like 200 at least. You know.
Yeah, no. I think
we'll get back to you on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
A little string down and follow the route.
That's the thing, is I've got all the maps planned out. I haven't measured any of them. I've got them all squared off.
Yeah.
So once I go print them, which will probably be next week, then I'm going to do the actual measurements to figure it out. But I'm figuring it's about 65 kilometers from Bala going the route that we're taking.
Right on, Superman.
Yeah. And she's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, 35 kilometers a day.
With 10 portages over winter.
No, right? No. But what are you using? Are you just using like a straight up like map of the air? Like, what are you using? Like for planning it out?
There's a couple of sites that I've been using. iHunter. Hi, Chad, if you're watching.
We want to talk about that later, but yeah, definitely. Okay, cool.
iHunter's been really phenomenal. There's another site. I might be able to pull it up and I'll send you guys the link. It's it's one of these government sites that you can go on and you can plan it out, print it out, and stuff like that. And there's a new one called CalTop.
CalTop.
I think it's called CalTop. CalTop. .com or something like that. It's called CalTop. We just found them today after watching Northern Scavenger. We hung out with them last, I guess it was Tuesday night. They did a live video and we hung out in there for a couple hours.
It was
last night. Yeah. And they talked about CalTop. So I checked that out today. I wish I'd found that a long time ago, planning out my route.
I'm gonna
so
write
much
that
better.
It's actually really,
yeah,
really good map system.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so cool. Is there any level of difficulty in this first little like part that you're worried about, or that's going to be like amazing? Or
the first day we're running into about 3 kilometers worth of rapids.
Oh, I'm out.
Whoa. Relax. Well, okay.
I'm scared.
What class? Okay. What class rapids are we talking? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. We know they've been detailed. Yeah. We do know that the ragged rapids.
There are portaging.
There is portages around.
We'll blaze one because I'm not
they're
that proficient at canoeing yet.
Ragged Rapids. there's the first one that runs, and then that runs into a hydro dam. So Hydro has actually built a portage around both of them for us, which is fine. But then there's 4 sets of rapids after that.
Oh my gosh.
I believe they're in between 1 and 2, classes 1 and 2. They're not that extreme.
He says.
I said.
But
I know.
I believe it was. I know.
Yeah, but I believe it was Swifty Paddler. I think commented. I don't quote me on that.
Okay. Ron is fantastic.
On one. Yeah, he commented on one of our things, and because when I first put the map up, I said, if anyone's done this and you know about the rapids, can you let me know? And I don't remember who it was, and I wish I could. It's bad that I don't. I should have looked that up before I brought it up. But they said, don't worry about it. There should be portages all the way along that whole section because I did it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Yeah.
Well, next week.
There's a total of 15 rapids that we're going to run into throughout the whole trip.
Or before we run into them, get out.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Do you remember what you said to the brains and the operation was right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, next week we have a really, really amazing opportunity.
Oh my God, we're so excited about this.
What's going on? What?
So, have you guys heard of Paddle Like a Girl?
Yeah,
Tori.
With Tori, yeah.
Tori, right? So Sabrina, we went out in the canoe and we hit a pretty bad rapid. We went out one day on our maiden voyage.
Yeah, it's the part that we didn't show.
It's the part that I didn't show.
I was like,
I didn't see that. We hit some pretty bad rapids.
It was
we cut it right out.
Yeah.
We hit a narrow.
Show it next time.
Yeah, okay. I'll send you guys the footage. We hit a narrow around this cut that we were in. And the water right now through here is raging.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
And it's a big run off under a train bridge.
Yeah, so it goes under a train bridge, but the walleye fishing at the top is really good. So I'm like, we're going. We're going. So the water is raging. And before we even get to the bottom of where this rapid comes out, there's like 5 whirlpools. So as soon as we get in, our canoe's already starting to turn. Now in a kayak, she's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Right.
I'd never worry about her in a kayak ever.
Okay.
But in a canoe, it's a little bit different. And we've never canoed together.
Yeah, we've never tandemed.
We've never tandemed together. We've kayaked all kinds. So we get into this rapid.
Now that you mention it,
I'm right.
And I'm screaming at her. I'm like, do this. I'm like, do this, do this, do this. And not realizing until after that she doesn't know what I'm talking about. So like we fight and get halfway up this rapid, and all of a sudden the canoe starts to spin and starts to go on its side, and then starts pushing us up against the shore where it's a big rock face.
Right.
So we got back. Yeah, I'm like, so I get back. I'm pissed, right? So we paddle. We get out of the whirlwinds, and Sabrina's like, "We can try it again." And I'm like, "We're going home. Like we're done."
You're cut off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we get back, and I thought, you know what? That it's really unfair of me to be upset because this is a whole new experience for her. And I'm not that experienced at it either. In a kayak, I've gone out. I've never taken any courses, but I'm an idiot. And I've jumped in a kayak and gone, I can make that.
No problem.
And knock on wood, I've made it. There's been a couple of close calls, but I've made it. So when we got back, I said to her, why don't you look at Tori's course? So we did. We looked at Tori's course, and all the dates coincided after we left.
Oh no. Okay.
So all her planned. Yeah. Of course
and on top of it, our canoe that we just bought, we love this thing, but it's not meant for any real rough stuff. It's a 16-foot fiberglass, but it's not like a Novacraft or a Swift. Like it's meant for like just going out and relaxing and stuff, but I'm going to push it to the limit.
Yeah.
So, a little bit.
Yeah.
So now that her courses don't line up, now Sabrina's getting even more worried and she's a little upset. So I emailed Tori. I messaged Tori and I said, hey, Tori, listen. I said, this is the situation. You know, I know you are super busy. I know both you and your husband are super, super busy. Sure. And we were looking at your classes, and my wife really wanted to take them. They're upset. Is there any way that maybe you could squeeze my wife in somewhere to do the course? And she got back and she went, I would love to help you guys. Absolutely.
So we're doing it next Thursday.
So she said,
Oh!
she said, yeah. So she asked, she said, is there somebody, are you going to come with her? And I'm like, no, I want her to experience this. And then I was going to send a friend with her, but then I thought, what a better way for the two of us to connect together in the canoe.
It's something that we're going to have to,
because she can go and take a course and I can go and take a course, but then we still have to work. We work together really well, but the canoe is a whole different thing, so what a better way to learn, and I can't say enough about Tori for taking the time out of her personal time to do this for us just before we go on our trip. Very, very honored. And starstruck, man. I mean, it's Jim and Tori. You know what I mean?
I know. Right? That's pretty sweet. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean,
very much looking forward to that.
Very much looking forward to that. And you know what? And the thing is too, is once our trip starts, like even now, the one thing that I have learned with you, I've learned to drop my ego now. And I learned that from hunting last year.
Yeah.
To drop my ego, and that no matter what I've learned, what I know, or what I think I know, I really don't know anything.
Right.
So
on.
It's going to be so good for me to go back and take a canoe course, like that's, sure. My brother and I have been doing this for years since we were kids. We've had 3 cottages, we grew up in that stuff, but it's time to get back to basics, because the stuff Sabrina and I want to do over the next year, it's not going to grandpa's cottage, jumping in the boat and paddling around the lake. Like we're going to run into situations. Yep. So regardless of what I think about myself, I've got to get humble here and realize that I got to get back to basics and learn. So I'm going to learn how to paddle like a girl.
You got this. That is so. That is so.
So
that's really
and so Tori, we can't say enough about her. Like she's got, they're so busy as it is with everything that they deal with, and their businesses and all that other stuff. So for her to take time out of her personal time to do this for us is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
I'm not.
And if anybody out there, and if anybody out there, even if you are somewhat experienced, take her courses. Like she's got the canoeing, the class 1s. She's got the different levels of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with the refresher course, man.
Absolutely.
Nothing. I was an electrician for 27 years. And every once in a while we go to refresher courses, and there's no reason why you can't do that in every aspect of your life. It's
so true. So have you I know we ran into a little bit of whitewater ish, enough. It was
class.
Quick, it was
class 1, late
it
class
was
2.
quick enough for us, and not having the right paddles for us to go, you know what? It'd be really good to take a whitewater course together. So I get that. You know what I mean? Like, be safe, do it together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But definitely the safety part. But when you were out in the water in your maiden voyage of your canoe, you had your kayak paddles.
Yeah, we don't have paddles yet.
There's 2 sets of wooden paddles that I don't know if you've seen in some of my pictures. There's a great big, huge 30-foot boat in the driveway.
Yeah.
So in that, it's got some gardening tools and some wooden paddles.
Okay, got you.
We didn't put a tarp over it. There's no we forgot to put a tarp over it.
Don't you remember they're
frozen?
Is that why they're frozen?
Everything. So there's like 2 feet of ice inside the boat, and the paddles are down at the bottom. So we're like, we'll just take the kayak paddles and split them in half.
Which is fine. Fine.
You overcome,
not in
you
the
adapt.
rapids, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Good times.
So this is your boat.
Yes. Yeah. And that's Charlie. Yeah. Sabrina wanted me to pack and clean. I was trying to run away.
Yeah.
That's a new definition of a dry run.
I know, right? Oh my God.
Yeah, right on.
That was funny.
Hey,
oh my
that
was
actually
funny.
The reason why the boat's there is because when we found out that our dry bags and our barrel harnesses might be delayed and that we might not get them till 4 days after we're supposed to leave.
Right.
I was thinking, well, if we decide that we're not going to wait for them and we just take the 85-liter backpack that we've got, what are we going to do with all the camping gear? So Sabrina has this lockable bin, the lid locks, but the center bowed. So we put all our, we put the tent, the sleeping bags, the tarp, and I forget what else we put in there, and put the lid on, and it clicked shut. But
it's
it was
just like a rubber bait, just like one of those heavier.
Yeah.
So the lid bowed a bit. So I took some paracord, made a couple of loops, learned this from Marty Morissette. Thanks, Marty, if you're watching. And just looped it through to pull it down. And I thought, if this fits in the canoe, before we leave, I'm going to go out in the canoe by myself with that, and I'm going to put a full load in it and see how it holds it.
Good
and
idea.
if it holds, then we may not wait for the dry bags. But I just got that look. I could feel that through the corner of my eye. Yeah. So we might be waiting for the dry bag anyways.
Right. But I mean, it looks like it.
We'll see.
Pretty good.
We'll see how antsy we get.
It does. Right. It does. But the one thing that Sabrina did bring up is, even though it doesn't weigh that much, it is still pretty heavy. Sure. When we hit these portages through the first 2 days that we're out there, it's not bad
if
to
that
carry.
Gets in the water, if that gets in the water, that's it.
Yeah, if we don't manage to get out to hit a portage in time and do wind up having to hit a rapid, if something ever does happen and that goes, it's not like the dry bags. It's not going to float, and that's going to be our sleeping bags, our tarp, and our tent.
That's true.
So
true.
It's one of those things that I'm like, I don't care, I can do it, and she's like, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I know it's a fiberglass canoe, but what kind of manufacturer is it?
I'm not sure the make. We bought it from the Sauble River Marina.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sauble Beach.
Yeah. So basically, what's happening there is
really nice.
They're a beautiful couple.
Oh, nice.
They own the marina there, and they do canoe rentals.
Yeah.
Now that they've gotten older, this thing weighs about 75 pounds. So they can't move them anymore from the racks down to the lake or whatever. So they've started buying Swift canoes because they're like 35 pounds. You pick them up with one hand, it's no problem.
So they're just trying to
reduce
their stock, replenish their stock.
Yeah.
Materials easier for them to.
Yeah. So we saw it for, I think it was after tax, it was $900. And I thought, you know what? The first few trips, we're not really doing anything crazy. So let's take it. And then we get the canoe, and I'm like, wait a sec. The first trip that I planned's got like 3 kilometers of rapids. Shit.
So that's what I want to ask about planning of the 8 months. So you're going to say we're 8 months out. We're going to, every so often we're going to go back into town for 4 to 5 days. So are you going to have just you're going to go back to your home base, or is it across Canada? How is this happening?
We've got 2 places we're going to go. We're going to go because we're literally getting rid of everything we own. The only thing we're going to keep is the car that we're going to keep at my uncle's place.
Yeah.
So we're basically
going to have some stuff in the storage.
Yeah, we're going to have some stuff in the storage.
Yep.
We're going to keep our winter clothes, obviously, but a lot of the summer stuff and a lot of our winter stuff too. Actually, we're donating to the Salvation Army.
Beautiful.
And a lot of our household items too.
Yep.
So, and we're going to have 2 pullout points. We're going to have my uncle's, which is here in Bala.
Yeah.
Where we're going to be leaving from. And then friends of ours, Eric and Nat. If you're watching, hi, Eric. Hi, Nat.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Nat.
They're amazing.
They are. They're absolutely amazing.
Nice.
We will,
I think. Very, very, very wonderful.
July?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll be pulling out for 10 days to go dog sit for them while they go to Mexico.
Got you. Okay.
Which is totally okay. And the way I've got no problems doing it for them. They've done so much for we love Eric and Nat are phenomenal, and their dogs are great. Yeah. But it's back in our home grounds in Washago on Lake Cooch, and that's where I did all my kayaking and we did where we first started doing our camping and stuff together. Mm-hmm. So while I'm there, it's going to be bass season's already open. I'm going to be out there every day at 4:30 in the morning.
Right
8 o'clock
on.
at night. Just,
I'm here babysitting the dogs and the dehydrators.
Oh yeah, the dehydrator. Oh my God, our dehydrator has been running since February 8th.
Well, that's the other thing, right? I mean,
yeah,
even if you plan a weekend trip, there's still like obviously some time and effort that goes into it, let alone if it's an 8-month trip. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like you,
I think,
I don't know, like you guys are, first of all, I mean, we can't talk about the food, but I want to talk about hunting and fishing first though. Like you're pretty well versed in that, right? Like you.
Fishing, yes. Hunting. When I was younger, when we were kids, we were up at the cottage. We were doing stuff, you know. And I look back at it now, and when we were little, like, you know, what we thought we were doing was okay, you know, going out and plugging a few animals here and there. And then we got older and realized that what we were doing is stupid. My brother actually wound up becoming an avid hunter.
Got you.
And I never really got into it because I got, you know, like I said, I drifted away from that outdoor stuff and I got into the music industry and the movie industry and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was an electrician to boot. And then when Sabrina and I got together, we decided on the substance lifestyle, which Meat Eater was the big turn for me. I watched Meat Eater and Steve Rinella. The stuff that I've learned from that man gave me a whole new outlook on hunting and why you hunt, you know? So I started hunting last year. So did Sabrina.
A little bit.
What style of hunting?
Yeah, we started with a crossbow. She wants to learn how to use it. She wants to do a longbow. I don't really want to get into rifles quite yet. I think I keep telling her I want to because I want to go for bear. I want black bear.
Got you.
But she's like, no. So there's no point in me. I mean, and I'm like, I've got my crossbow. Well, I don't have my crossbow anymore. But like I had my crossbow. I said, I'm getting a bear tag and I'm going for it. And she's like, no, you're not going hunting bear with a crossbow. What are you, stupid? Because you can only reload it once, right?
Right.
But yeah, so no, last year we did some hunting. I didn't get anything. I had a deer tag, turkey tag.
Okay.
I had an incident.
Fishing's good.
Right.
Yeah. I went out. The first week that I went out looking for turkey, I called in a moose, which was wild. It came within 100 yards of me in a Simcoe forest. Yeah, within 100 yards. This thing was massive. It was huge.
Simcoe?
I think it was just in the area, and I was sitting there with my turkey call, and it just happened to be coming around. I like to say that I called it in with a turkey call.
Yeah, you did.
Know?
Oh, yeah.
But,
100% you did. That'd be my story.
Yeah. And then we were charged by something in the bush. We don't know what it was. We don't know what it was. We don't know if it was a moose or if it was a bear, but we went into a Simcoe forest. And she didn't want to hunt that day. She just wanted to go for a walk.
Yeah.
And then I brought because it's me.
Sure.
I brought my turkey call with me anyways. Well, what I seem to forget is that if you go out at dawn or dusk and you're doing a predator call, predators are going to come and get you. Right. So we're walking through the forest in the late evening and I'm doing my turkey call just to see if I can get any of them to come around. And all of a sudden we hear this crashing through the bush.
Ay.
Now I had my crossbow with me and I stopped because I wanted to see what it was because the noise that it was making, it was at a full blown run.
Yeah, it was going at a good clip.
And it was probably around probably about 150 to 100 yards to us, and it was coming. And
he's still doing this turkey call.
And I'm still doing the turkey call. And I'm like, I want to see what it is. Right? And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then you know what?
Wow.
When I realized the position that I was putting her in,
right,
I went, shit, I got to stop. So I started yelling. And then once I started yelling, the noise just stopped.
Sure. So
we don't know what it was, but and then the next day was my Coyote Experience.
Yeah, that was.
Which that was really rough and really brutal. I'd gone out. I had my deer tag. I'd gone out first thing in the morning for turkey.
Yeah.
I'd gone home for lunch. Had Sabrina drop me off at a Simcoe County forest.
Oh, you want your arrow?
Oh yeah, the arrow. So I'm walking through this bush, it's probably about 4:00 at the time. And then I guess about an hour goes by and I start seeing moose tracks.
Okay.
And they're fresh. They're like really fresh. So I'm like, I'm going to track this thing. Like, I'm not hunting it for a tag. I've got my deer tag, but I want to see how close I can get to this. So about half an hour goes by. And all of a sudden I get this eerie feeling. And I start hearing noises, but they're I get choked up every time I talk about this. The position I had myself in was absolutely crazy. And it's just like a small little rustle in the brush every once in a while, but I've turned around and I wouldn't see anything. And this went on for 45 minutes where I'm like, I swear I hear something, but the amount of noise, I'm thinking it's like a chipmunk or a squirrel.
Sure.
So I get to this one print and Sabrina had texted me and said, is everything good? And I said, you've got to see these moose prints. So I took off my backpack. I took off my crossbow. Now I had my crossbow loaded, just in case I came across any deer. So I took off my backpack and my crossbow and I put my crossbow down and I took my phone and I crouched down, like right down into a crouch to get a picture of this moose track. And all of a sudden I see something in the corner of my eye. And there's a coyote right in the center of the trail. And it's hunched over and it's like starting to walk towards me and it's getting quick. And I'm like, so I start to stand up. And as I start to stand up, I see something else in the other corner of my eye. And there's another one on the trail. And this one's huge. I don't even know what happened. All as I know is that I grabbed my bow, I jumped backwards, and I took a shot at the first one. It was smaller than the other one. And then as I fell backwards, I dropped the bow onto my foot. And then I grabbed my hunting knife and I put it in my mouth. I grabbed I grabbed an arrow out of the quiver, and I had the quick release on my neck. And I put it in, I cocked it, and I spun around on my knees, and I took another shot. I didn't even aim. And then I just heard this big yelp, and it took off into the bush. And then when that took off, I saw movement on either side of me, and there was three. There was three more on my left, and there was another one on the right. So so at the time, I'm just like, whoo, fucking A. Like, sorry, my friend. So like, wow, what the hell was that? I'm like full adrenaline. So I can't find the first arrow that I shot at the small one. It's gone. It hit just before I'm on the ground. The second one, what had happened, the yelp that I had heard, as I spun, he went to get off into the trail, like off the trail and into the bush, I guess, to come around me. And as he started to turn, my arrow caught him in the hip and ricocheted off his hip. And when it ricocheted off his hip, he let out a yelp, and then they all disappeared. When he let out that yelp, they all disappeared. So I went and I found, this is the arrow. That's broken. I don't know. There's still a little bit of blood on it. And then I got the date there. September.
Yeah, he almost bit it that day.
Yeah, September 10th, 5:30 p.m.
Gosh.
So I'm not really bothered at this time. I'm just kind of like, whew, that was a little unsettling, right? And then I call Sabrina and I'm like, you got to come pick me up. Like, I think I might have pushed this a little too far. I don't know where they are now. They just disappeared. So she picks me up and I start telling her the story, and I get a little choked up like I am now. But then I'm on the phone with my oldest son, Damien. Hi, Damien, Justin.
Hi, Damien, Justin.
And Damien had done a project in was it university or late high school on coyotes. And basically what had happened was, when I was hearing those noises, they had been following me for over an hour.
But he was so entranced with following the tracks of the moose, he wasn't.
Yeah. Now, because I was standing up, what they did, Damien said, he goes, it's perfect coyote pack mentality. They pegged you for food and they waited until you were vulnerable. So what happened is they didn't bother me. They were on either side of me down the trail. But once I took off the backpack in the boat and I bent down, now I'm smaller and I'm vulnerable. And that's what they came out. And he said that first coyote I saw was the smallest one in the pack. And he said what they do is they send out the smallest one first. Because if something happens to it, it's the runt of the pack. It doesn't matter. It's gone. But if it manages to pin the prey, the alpha comes in for the kill. So the one that I hit, Damien said the reason why they scattered is because the one, when I spun around and I hit that one in the hip, it ricocheted off his hip. He said that was the alpha. Because when I turned around, it was at a full gallop. It was coming at me. So he said what had happened was the little one comes in to distract you and try to pin you. And if it can't, once it starts to distract you, the alpha comes in for the kill, and then everybody comes in for the meal. So Damien had said, if I didn't hit that alpha with the arrow,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
so,
Rob, unbelievable.
Yeah. So that, it's so
wild.
And it's crazy because the whole time and it happened like that.
Oh,
like,
100%.
I tried to reenact the story for Sabrina, and just for me to grab the bow, stand up, take a shot, hook it on my foot and fall, and then try to cock it. It took me almost 5 minutes to do it at home to show her how to do it.
Yeah.
And Damien, my oldest, thinks that it's because of me living on the streets and stuff. It was a survival instinct that kicked in right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adrenaline strength.
Adrenaline.
And he said, if I hadn't experienced some of the things that I'd experienced in life on the road, some of it was really bad, that I might not have had that survival instinct to make sure that I was the one who was
the reaction time.
The reaction time. Yeah.
All about the instincts. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's,
oh my God.
it's given me a whole new respect for wildlife. I will tell you that.
Oh,
because up until that point, I'm like, I've got respect for you, but I'm here. I'm going to get you. I'm the alpha out here. No, I'm nowhere close, man. But you've got to, like, I want to be that alpha out there, but you're not. You're pretty low on the food chain. So when you go hunt, you've got to be careful about this kind of stuff. And,
right on.
I was reckless. I should have been paying more attention, but I was so entranced that there was this moose that, like, these prints were so fresh. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to run up on this thing. Like, I was so excited about that I forgot about everything else that was going on. And the thing about the Simcoe Forest then too, is the last couple of years, there hasn't been a lot of food for the animals. There's the food chain. And I talked to a guy from the ministry and I forget what the disruption was, but for the predators, there hasn't been a lot of food. So that's why over the last year and a half, there's been so many more coyote sightings.
Interesting. And there has been. That is true. You hear about them more and more. Yeah.
Because there hasn't been a lot of food.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
If you don't understand that when you go out, you got to realize you're easy pickings.
Yeah, you are.
And all that stuff just was out the wayside because I saw a moose track.
Wow. I am not going out without my nines.
I know. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. My goodness. That was like wild. Oh, you had everybody their own riveted there. It was like, oh my gosh, on the edge of their seat. Like, holy moly.
Yeah. And it's funny because Damien says, like, my oldest son says, like, when you talk about the way that I spun around and I've got the knife, my hunting knife in my mouth and the crossbow and it's spinning around, he goes, it's like a Rambo movie. He goes, but then when you think about it, he goes, it's so scary. Like at the end of it, and it didn't hit me till about the fourth conversation. Because up until then, I was like, oh, I was like, Sabrina, come and get me. I just got surrounded by a pack of coyotes. I've had it. I just want to go home.
Yeah, but by the time I went to pick him up, actually, he had it.
I was done. Yeah. That's when it started. When I started to talk about it is when it sunk into how close I was to being dead. Like,
it's an emotional
so
roller
don't
coaster.
Yeah. So people who, when people go out, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't need to bring a hunting knife with me. I don't need to, you know, we're only going out for a weekend. I don't need the bear spray. People, I'm telling you,
Yeah, you do.
Bring a hunting knife, bring a bear spray, a bear banger. You know, that's like especially if you're going out early spring, late fall. Those are the two worst times that, you know.
Right. Agreed. But it's also a good time for fishing.
It's phenomenal.
Right.
But see, you know what the worst part about our trip is?
What?
There's a 2-week lull for some of the fish I want to catch when we go out. So I think walleye we can still catch. Yeah. And I think brook trout. But I don't think there's any brook trout where we're going. So
So how integral is fishing and catching fish to like your trip? Like
8 months?
Well, that's what I mean.
The fishing and hunting.
Are you like? So, how important is the fishing? Like, are you relying on fish for 3 out of the 7 days, or 4 out of the 12 days?
No, not for this trip. When we start our second trip, they're going to start getting longer, and then that's when the hunting and the fishing are going to be an integral part of
interesting.
Being out there.
I like that.
You know?
I like
because
that.
Well, the problem is
at least the fishing anyway.
Yeah, the problem is too is that we can only dehydrate so much, and if we're only back for 4 days, you can't just we can dehydrate something, but then you've got to and then you've got to let it cure. You've got to let it cure, right?
Right.
So, you know,
that is true. Okay. That is true. But what about the foraging part of it? What about the foraging part of it? Like. I'm
really new to it, so it's more like making sure to be able to identify things properly, because that's just and harvest things at the appropriate times, making sure that you're you know, doing things sustainably and respectably.
Right.
So it's not going to be that. It's going to be more identification. Like there's some things that I do know, but I want to make sure that wherever we go, that we're following the rules of that region.
Absolutely.
Maybe you're not allowed to forage certain things, and so I just want to. So for this year, it's more just getting to know the area, getting to know where we're going, what we can find in certain areas, and just more education.
The time of the year too will be integral, and of course weather wise, especially when it comes to harvesting shrooms and stuff like that.
Well, what did we read, or someone said something that you should be able to go out into the forest and identify enough plants to make a salad.
That was
who said that?
It's Pine Martin's wife,
right? And I was like, that totally makes sense. So I'm like, it might have been Pine Martin. Yeah,
Pine Martin is wife.
And they
were out and they made a salad.
And I was like, that actually is pretty cool to know.
See, I would love to be able to do that.
Me too.
I know enough to probably be able to do there's chickweed, there's dandelion, there's purslane, there's the wild onions, there's lots of edible flowers and plants that are really easy to find.
Right.
But just making sure that it's proper identification.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that we want to incorporate in our videos too is every region is different. Everywhere we're going to go, there's different wildlife management units. There's different fishery units. Different counties have different rules when it comes to foraging. So that's one of the things that we want to be able to do in our videos is be able to show you the resources where you can go to find that stuff out for each area.
Okay.
So that people, when they go out there, they can know, because there's some places
to be respectful of the environment
and to do it in a respectful way,
right on.
Respectful and sustainable way. That's the big thing. So, and that's just something we feel that we want to share with people because we think more people should be out doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yes.
Because it's crazy. I mean, there was John's family had a piece of land up north from here, and it was covered in morels, right? And then, am I telling it right? I think. And then people would come into their property, and there was like morel, but they were just like strangers going into their area and picking all the morels because they've been doing it for so many years, and they just there you go. Don Kelly said morel season's coming up.
Yeah,
but it's crazy how many people are doing it. I feel like it's getting over picked or something. So
over harvested.
Yeah.
Over harvested.
I
like that is true. That is true. I like
well,
that.
Well, we watched this Learn Your Land, I think is the YouTube channel.
Okay.
That we watched. And he was talking about morel harvesting or mushroom harvesting in general, that one of the big things that he tries to stress is that when you're harvesting them is to use a basket and not a bag.
Right.
Because when you pick them and they're in the basket, they pollinate the whole time you're out there. You know,
they keep releasing their spores.
Yeah, they keep releasing the spores. That's
if you are going to be out harvesting,
right?
Yeah. So it's little things that like that will make a difference. You know. So
Hey, before I get too far ahead, we had a question earlier in the chat by Dustin DeWin. He wanted to know from you guys. He said, "Great name, by the way. But what is your most memorable trip, and what's your dream bucket trip?"
Ooh, a two-parter.
Wow.
All right.
Can we get back to you on that?
Yeah, no.
As of right now,
memorable. If it's memorable together, I think it would have been the first night we camped on an island in Washago on Lake Cooch.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think
because this is like just the beginning of
yeah.
Well,
mind you, our very first camping trip when we were in our early teens was pretty memorable.
Yeah.
God, that was so long ago.
That's so long ago. You got me drunk.
Yeah, I got her drunk and took her camping. Bucket list. I think I might actually nail part of my bucket list off this year. Her sister is going to be having a baby. She's in Australia, and Sabrina's hoping. She doesn't like talking about personal stuff, but she's hoping to get over there. And if she gets over there, I'm hoping to go over there and go do some camping and hunting in the backcountry in Australia.
Oh my God.
Wow, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's a bucket list. We don't know if it's going to happen.
Bucket list, big
so
time.
fingers crossed. But yeah, we'll see.
Oh my God.
So bucket list would be the Mackenzie River.
Okay. Ooh, nice. That's big.
Yeah, it's huge. But I think we need to take a lot more classes for that.
I don't even know.
Definitely.
Yeah, the Mackenzie River, it's huge, and there are a lot of rapids and stuff in it. So we definitely have to take some classes and stuff. If it was just like me and a buddy, I'd just go, you know. But being responsible, the right thing to do would be and do this properly and go take a couple of whitewater courses and then venture out there. So that's my big bucket list is Mackenzie. Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know about the.
You don't know about bucket?
No, I don't know yet.
No.
I can't. It's
out there.
It's too stressful. I can't think.
You're not stressed. Get out of here. No, you are good at this though. Holy moly. Like how much food have you dehydrated?
Oh. Well, like you said, it's dehydrated hasn't shut off since February.
I've got a list.
Yeah. See right there. I told you February 8th was the first. February 7th was the first day that the dehydrator went on, and it's run every day except for 4 ever since.
Oh,
but it's been a learning experience too. How to retain as much nutrients as possible,
right?
And trying to dehydrate things that you can't necessarily find easily in, let's say, bulk barn or powdered or whatever already. So making sure that I'm trying to focus on more nutrient dense and protein dense things.
Yeah. You get to
and those solo trips I went and did. I used to always say to Sabrina, I've got to make a mid video. We've got to keep it consistent on YouTube. It was just so I get away from the sound of the dehydrator.
It's right beside the bedroom.
It's right beside our bedroom, and it runs, and the noise is like a loud hum 24 hours a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Be like having the fan on in the bedroom or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That is crazy. Yeah. So are you dehydrating to like assemble your meals?
Yeah. So next week
is the big week.
I'm gonna start doing
meal planning.
Okay. So putting at least proportioning things for the meals that we're going to do for the 10-day.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, well, half the problem is keeping me away from it because I've eaten all the beef jerky we made. I got into the kiwi and the pineapple. I know.
Bad.
It's so good though. It's so
we're
good.
We're doing some more beef jerky this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to do some more beef jerky this weekend. So
you got to have that for sure.
Yeah, we got to. I mean, the calorie count is huge.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Sabrina's right. Like, I mean, I'd eat ravioli out of the can and baked beans out of a can the whole time I was out there.
No.
You know, but so
you can't. That's
a lot of weight.
So
horrible.
You know, she's
horrible.
Yeah. So
terrible.
It is horrible.
Yeah. Stag chili's got a peel lid.
No. I mean, if you're dehydrating and trying to, reduce the amount of weight and stuff that you're taking, it's not necessarily.
There's a science behind it that she's been doing to get the calories and the protein that we need, you know, whereas me, like I tell you, stag chili, beefaroni in the can with baked beans, and I'm good, but I know.
I grew up on that stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
Sabrina, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily good for you.
Right.
I mean,
it's processed.
It has
crap.
to be.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's no. I mean, if you're dehydrating stuff and you're trying to pack lightly, you want to try, for me anyway, it's not necessarily the caloric value, it's more the nutrient density value to it. So trying to make the food choices as nutrient dense as possible, as alkaline as possible. But saying that, it's got to taste good too. I mean, there's no way I'm going to eat something that doesn't taste good.
Nice. Thanks, Dawn.
Yeah. Stay out of the goodies.
But I will say this, and this is when I really started listening to Sabrina about eating. Is last year, every day I came home, I would leave. I'd get up at 4:00 in the morning. I'd make a coffee, and I'd be in the kayak by 4:30, and I'd come back around dinner time with a couple of fish. I'd fish all day, let them all go, and then bring a couple of home for dinner.
Okay.
For 6 weeks. About 6 weeks, we ate fresh fish every day with vegetables from a farmer market. I have never physically, emotionally, and mentally felt better in my life.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then when we moved up here, and we started getting back into the processed food because we were just so busy and stuff, I could feel the difference in my body. And she's been right the whole time. She's like, you need to do this. You need to do this. I'm like, whatever,
Right.
Right. But she's right, Yeah.
It is true. And you just mentioned coffee in the morning, right? So one of the things that John does every morning is he has chaga. Like that's his thing. You guys just put out like an amazing video on chaga. Right on.
Oh, you have chaga 3 times a day?
Well, actually a little more than that because we make our morning coffee with chaga water that we distilled over the night before. And then Sabrina, and then we'll use that water to make the coffee with. And then Sabrina leaves a pot of chaga on the stove for me so that I can have a chaga after my morning coffee. I have a cup of chaga, and then I'll have one around lunch, and then I'll have one before bed.
Try to make it around between 6 and 8 hours.
Yeah, you should make it to 8 hours, but I love the stuff so much that oh God, that was so scary. That was so scary when I fell off that stump.
He had no idea how close that was.
I had no idea until I started editing the video. I was like, oh my God, that was so close. I was
actually, you know what? It was how long ago what was it? Canoe Hound. They had
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they had a really good episode about chaga.
They had Jerry on the episode.
Yeah, I watched that. That was good.
Found that incredibly educational. I think that was it's really cool that we learned that you could do a triple extraction process on it.
After watching that video, we were so upset about the amount of chaga we wasted.
Yeah, I didn't know that there were like water and fat soluble vitamins in the chaga, and so it's really cool to
But your video you guys did was incredible. That was so great too. But that's how you were standing on this tree stump.
So it was a rotted birch tree. So I couldn't really reach the piece. And Sabrina's like, let me go get some deadfall and build you a little thing to stand on. And I'm like, no. I go, I got a stump right here. So I stood on it and I didn't realize how rotted it was. And once my weight got onto it, it just disintegrated and my legs shot out to the side.
You are so lucky.
If that snow had been any deeper, I would have been done.
You would have been talking soprano for sure.
We were far enough. We were far enough in the forest.
I would have had to drag his ass.
Yeah, because we had no reception on the phone. We were on a skidoo trail, probably about an hour and a half away from society on a skidoo trail.
Oh my gosh!
It's about an hour. We walked about an hour.
It would have felt that far if I had to drag your ass.
Right.
Back, though. That's for sure.
So Darren just said that he got some chaga from Jerry. So John, you actually reached out to him. This is where John gets his from. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Pull this down.
Can you see that, huh?
I'll go full screen on us.
Can you see that or no? So that's.
I got that off.
Yeah.
I got that off the internet.
Are you familiar with that?
No.
Yeah.
So
it's Canadian chaga, but I don't know. So, but John chatted with Jerry.
Jerry actually gave me a call and I talked to him on the phone in regards to the extraction process, learning how he did it, using a steeping it overnight and steeping it overnight
cold extraction and then
cold extraction and then running it for 12 plus hours. And then, you got a full crock pot. When I first stumbled across, I was watching, Sean James and on his my Self-Reliance channel, and he's drinking chaga. I said, well, that's interesting. I like mushrooms, so I thought I'd check it out. I looked it up online, and I read up about it. What the properties and what it's good for, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, well, I got to try some. So I, of course, what everybody does, I jumped on Amazon and I just looked for some and the extraction process was to, I brought it I have one of my bush pots that I use, a 32-ounce pot, and bring it up to a rolling boil, drop a couple chunks in, and then turn it down to a simmer it for like 25 minutes, and then pull your chunks out and then throw those in the freezer, and then you can, redo it as many times as you want, as long as you're getting an extraction, your liquid's got color and tannin in it, so you're getting properties out.
Yeah.
So he said, that process works too. But when Canoe Hound was saying, I get hints of vanilla, it's like, my chaga's never tasted like that.
It tastes like vanilla?
Yeah. It tastes like hot water, with a little bit of flavor. That's about it. Okay. He said that's why Jerry said when they do their chagas, they incorporate a couple of the teas, the matcha. Was it matcha?
I don't know. I didn't see the episode. Okay.
So I was like, well, that's interesting. So what I do is I brew it up. I have a hibiscus tea. So I'll mix chaga and hibiscus tea, and it gives a little. It's a little dry, but it does give a. Wow. It works. I mean, it gives it like a dry. It's almost like drinking a dry Chardonnay. Because it's dry.
Just try a little bit of vanilla or a little bit of a cinnamon stick. That would work. Maple butter or a little bit of maple sugar works. It's actually.
Do you know what's really good in the chaga is we'd let it simmer and stuff, and then get to the point where we're gonna. But see, the thing is too with the chaga, I like it boiled forever so that it's like a dark heavy tar, and you can taste the birch tree. You know what I mean? Like I like that.
Yeah.
But Sabrina started putting maple butter. She had a what is it? It's a maple butter. It's kind of like concentrated maple syrup. So and it's a butter.
So good.
And I started putting a spoonful of that in with the chaga.
Yeah. It complements it really well.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the cinnamon.
And Jerry said.
Yeah, the cinnamon stick is nice. Maybe a little bit of cloves or a piece of vanilla bean.
We sprinkled some in was it the salad or something? What was it you put it in the other day? Or was the barbecue sauce or something? I don't remember.
No, I made rice with it.
Oh yeah, she made the rice.
There got a little bit left over, so just strain the chaga. Yeah.
So when I smash it up, some of it's in chunks and some of it gets into powder. So she's been taking some of the powder and putting it in some of our meals as well. So I'm doing the 3 cups a day, like Jerry says.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stick to 8 hours, but I love the taste of it so much. And I can feel what it's doing for me. So I'm trying to like force it. So Sabrina's doing the regulating. So we started doing the thing with the coffee in the morning, so you get that extra cup in, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
Take it easy. I mean, I don't know if you can. Because you want to respect its properties. You don't want to overdo it. I think that everything.
Yeah, you've got to allow it. You've got to give it the time to do what it needs to do.
Right, and I just do 1 cup a day in the morning. So that's my morning thing because I don't drink coffee really. So I mean, I just drink the chaga every morning. The only time I actually drink coffee, which is decaf, by the way, I drink that on the weekends.
Yeah.
Maple butter is a thing. Oh my God, it is
maple butter is maple syrup. It's
who says that? Really? All Trini doesn't know about maple butter? Oh my God.
Heaven.
It is so good.
Birch water.
It's like concentrated maple syrup or creamed maple syrup.
Okay.
Like you can get like liquid honey, and then you can get creamed honey.
Yeah.
Same. Maple butter is like a creamed maple syrup.
Actually, do you know what else we've been drinking this year is Cedar Tea.
So we have never had that.
I don't know if you guys saw that post.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The whole house smells phenomenal.
Okay.
The tea tastes phenomenal. And what it does for your body, it's got so much.
There's vitamins, antioxidants, but you have to be careful.
Yeah, there's so much in it. You should only be taking it once a week.
Yeah,
but
once or twice a week.
Yeah, once or twice a week, like not even an 8 ounce, not even maybe 8 ounces a week. Just a regular coffee cup.
Yeah.
Maple butter in their blood. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, the Cedar Tea. Yeah, if you guys get a chance to. Try some cedar tea. Next time you see a cedar tree, pick it from the bottom, cut off all the on the tips. It'll be like peel it off the branch, and then all the brown tips, cut them all off. Yep. Let it simmer, not really boil, but
no, you just I think
you do it the same way you make a tea, right?
Yeah,
and then let it sit
on what you want from it.
Yeah, right. And then let it sit for a bit. But yeah, if you do 1 cup of that a week. Oh my God! The smell in the house. I love the smell.
I'm sure it smells incredible. Oh, who's Heidi?
Oh, that's Sabrina's sister. Hi, Heidi.
One shuts. Hi, Heidi. She's my amazing sister. Hi, Heidi. I miss her very, very much. Oh, I love you.
She says it's going to happen, and I can hunt for boar. Woo!
Oh, that's awesome. So the other thing is,
I think everybody's gonna go make some tea now.
I know. I feel like it's all nice and warm and fuzzy in here. It's good. What about bug season? Like, I mean, it's gonna be the bugs are gonna start. Like we're going, bugs are starting. Like you saw. Like what do you do?
There's a few things that we're gonna do.
I don't care.
But we're not gonna breathe. We're not going to sweat. We're going to change our biochemistry. And we're not going to go outside.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, prevention is key.
Yeah, that's the problem is we're going to hit peak bug season.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So
I know apple cider vinegar.
I know Rob talked to you about apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
And so I mean, if you want to go through that kind of, if you want to take a teaspoon a day, but it's not about that. I mean, they're gonna get you there. They're attracted to your carbon dioxide. They're attracted to your sweat. And some people, their body chemistry just by itself is incredibly intoxicating to them.
Yeah.
So there's certain. I'm gonna try a few different natural repellent recipes.
French lavender works really well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know why it works different.
Jackets.
Yeah, bug jackets. I don't know why the French lavender essential oil.
Yeah.
I don't know why the French one works better than any of the other ones, but it really does as a deterrent. Yeah, and it's witch hazel water and a little bit of the French lavender,
citronella,
and
cloves.
Yeah, and citronella and cloves. That combination, and apple cider vinegar.
Eating more alkaline foods helps a little bit, but I mean, if you're up in
tell them about that. She did some research on an alkaline diet, and the more the better your alkaline diet, the worse that the bugs. Yeah, the better the bugs will stay away. But but in Canada, it's inevitable.
You're gonna get hit. So I mean, bug jackets and whatever.
Yeah, it's inevitable, and you do what you can to deter it. But at the end of the day, if it was up to me,
we'll also like
beards were too. Hey, speaking about beards, I know I got a couple of buddies. I don't know if you can see that. I got a couple of buddies. What side's it on?
Yeah,
right there. I got a couple of buddies that might be in the chat from the Bearded Villains. So,
cool.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey.
Yeah. If it was up to me, we'd be using 80% DEET.
No. Right. I mean, sorry. We can, but there's also other things out there that are just as effective as that.
Not you.
So why not put something a little bit less chemical on your skin if you can avoid it?
Right.
Yeah. Right. We the only thing that we use now is
I agree.
It doesn't even have
oh yeah.
That doesn't have DEET in it. It's called picaridin. It's made by Sawyer Products.
Yeah.
Say that again. What is
you have to message us that for sure.
Yeah. It's called picaridin, and it's not made with DEET, and it's amazing. It works.
It totally works. Yeah. Oops. And doesn't feel weird on your skin.
And you don't smell like bug spray or nothing like that. It's amazing.
There's a question there from Dustin. It says, "Does garlic really help?"
Yes, it does.
It does.
But
another thing too, it's a deterrent.
Release. Yeah, I mean, when you ingest it, when you sweat, there's an odor that they're not as attracted to.
I think the problem is
onions and garlic.
Yeah, the problem is that black flies and mosquitoes, they have swarm mentalities. The horse flies, the black flies, they've got a swarm mentality. So I was up in James Bay at Fort Albany doing a job.
Okay. Wow. So you're up there.
And one of the guys off the reserve took us out into the bush. We went for a drive, and we were sitting outside on the truck having a coffee and a cigarette. And it got to that point of the time when the horse flies came out. And I've never seen anything so big in my life.
Oh, geez.
And he's like, "Okay, we got to go." And I said, "What do you mean we got to?" His name was Eric. And Juice and I were like, "What do you mean we got to go?" And he goes, "I've seen these things take down small animals." And we're like, "Whatever, buddy."
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we get into his pickup truck. We're going down the dirt road. When they swarmed. We got into the truck, and they're banging against the glass. Like you can hear them tink, 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 trying to get us. We were doing 35 kilometers an hour down a dirt road, and they're still at the side of the truck trying to get you.
Oh my God.
And if you haven't been,
I've never even heard this before.
If you haven't been that far up north, you'll never understand that. But when I was out he was telling me, "Yeah, we've seen them take down small animals." And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, right.
But that's swarm mentality. So it doesn't matter. DEET, garlic, it does apple cider, doesn't matter what you've got. When they get into that swarm, you're done. You got to live with it. But
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine being taken down, but I can't.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No.
Yeah. But we're not going that far north this year.
Right.
So.
Right. No, you sound like it's all manageable and all good.
Mm-hmm.
So you're waiting on one piece of gear, right?
Yes.
One more thing.
Two pieces. Yeah.
Two more things.
2 pieces.
Okay.
Our dry bags and our barrel harness.
Right.
Okay. And then,
which was a really good, cheap. You got a score on those barrels.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I found this guy on Kijiji.
Yeah.
I think he does travel in the States and stuff.
Yeah, he does travel in the States and stuff too. What was it? $55 a barrel?
Yeah.
It depended on, some were food grade, some were not, and it depended on the size of the barrel.
I think the most expensive, reasonable. I think the most expensive barrel he had was $65.
We can send you
I'll send. I can give you guys the information.
Crazy. That's incredible.
And he's got what do you say, 4 guys and his wife that work with them.
Yeah, and they travel all over.
Just selling barrels.
Selling barrels.
That's it. They
sure
take their orders
right now.
Yeah, they take their orders, and then they do it. They make a route up on Google Maps.
Yeah,
and then put a post up.
Destination points.
And go. Okay, we're going to be in Barrie, then we're going to be in Aurelia, then we're going to be here, we're going to be in Gravenhurst. And we were like, hey, we'll take them for $55.
Traveling food barrel salesman. Holy moly.
There's a guy that travels around here. He sells Pelican cases and such like that. He does something similar. He said they're all military grade Pelican cases. So I follow him a lot.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Okay, so same kind of thing then. Yeah. There you go. Wow.
That'd be good for the camera gear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm not too worried about the camera. Do you know how many GoPros I've ruined in the snow?
Oh.
I lost one in a river.
We lost one in the river, but
But no, to answer your question, no, I don't know how many GoPros you damaged in the winter.
No,
3. 3. Every time I went out to film, I dropped one in the snow. Every time.
Oh my gosh. You're expensive.
They
were brand new though, so
trying to put it in the waterproof case.
Right on.
And you lose it?
No, it takes a while to dry out. One of them still records like when you watch the footage, it's like watching an old projector film.
Okay.
You know, you hear the
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the footage looks all grainy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that could be like a little retro stuff. Use it for retro kind of footage.
Right. That's true too. I like that.
We could go out on a camping trip and pretend we're old Voyagers.
Yes.
There you go. Dress up the part and get the film and convert it to black and white.
Right on. There you go. Don lost one too. I know it sucks. Totally sucks. So you also have a couple of sponsors kind of secured for your big wild trip. How did that come about?
We do. iHunter, Chad has been phenomenal, and Graham from Agua.
Okay.
We've reached out to a few of them. We've still got a couple. I've got 3 that are in the talks and 2 others that I'm waiting to hear back from.
Okay.
And you know what? And it's like what Graham said from Agua when he replied to us. When I do things, I've always got this grander idea, and I go big or I don't do it at all.
Right on.
And I understand when doing movies and stuff and being in radio when I was younger, that people who are willing to sponsor, it's really hard to get them to do it for an up and coming, unless they know for a fact that they're going to be a skyrocket. They want people that are established, so that they know that they're getting the most bang for their buck. And I understand that. But I think it was maybe in the way that I did the pitch and I talked to them. Or maybe it's just that they're that understanding and they saw something in it that maybe I still don't see. But, Graham replied from Agua and said, listen, we usually deal with really established people in the field that you're going into. But our company really loves the story that you're trying to tell about, people being isolated and not being able to afford to get out, to go to a campground, or to go on vacation, because you just can't. Like shit, even to go to a movie now, it's $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So true.
So and that was part of our pitch. We said we want to be able to. I don't want to just go out and. Don't get me wrong. I want to just go out and have my fun, and I want to record that just for our own sake.
Sure.
But there's so many people out there who don't know that this is available to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you don't have to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can go on Kijiji, find a canoe for $400 that floats, buy a $80 tent from Walmart or Canadian Tire, and a couple of $30, $40 sleeping bags.
Yeah.
And go.
Or even just on Facebook Marketplace, on Kijiji. Like there's all kinds of, you can always find a deal somewhere. And and little bit at a time.
Yeah, and people don't know that there's that crown land, the provincial and federal land that's out there that you can use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
and in that we want to be able to, we want them to understand that even when we do this, when you go, please be respectful and sustainable. That's our big thing.
Yeah.
You know, every time we go out, you know, we've unfortunately stumbled across somebody else's garbage in the middle. Yeah. Right. And
that's awesome.
And it's not
that they believed in you too. Do you know what I mean? And like the story and like that you're ambassadors. Do you know what I mean? Like you're gonna share what's going on. Like we have an Egawa saw, right?
Mm-hmm. And that was our first folding saw.
It was our first folding saw that we bought. Yeah. And it's a good product. So why would you not want to be associated with that too? You know what I mean?
And for them to believe in our story and they did really this.
That's a big deal. It's a big deal.
And they did this before we put any videos up. Before we did anything, all I did was I put up the Facebook, the Instagram, and the website, and I created the YouTube channel, but there was nothing on it. And they still, when they read our story, they went, you know what? We believe if this is what you guys are going to do, we're behind you 100%. You know, and then iHunter was the same thing.
Yes,
they're like, well, you know, every company they have to be. And I get it. Times are tough. And if you're going to give away free stuff, it's got to be able to come back. Right. And I get that. So for them to take a chance on us so early, you know, and the thing I love about iHunter, you have no idea how many other apps and mapping systems I have just deleted.
That's awesome.
iHunter, and not just for hunting. Like I use it if I go out for a walk. Like if I'm going to go hiking, or even if I am going to go hunting or fishing or whatever it is, I've got it on my phone and Sabrina's got it on her phone.
Okay.
I can share my location with her.
That's awesome.
You know, I open it up and I go share location, and then I can put track, and she can see exactly where I go and where I am.
That's so great.
So it's a peace of mind for that.
Yes.
And on top of it, you know, you go in certain areas. If you don't know what you're allowed to do on those areas in the Crown land, if you get the public land access, you click on it. It'll show you your wildlife management unit, and then it'll show you the name of the property you're on. So if it's Crown land, it'll say such and such park or whatever, and then you click on it, and it'll tell you if you're allowed. And it brings you to a government website page that shows you the ground land deposition, what you're allowed to do on it, what you're not allowed.
Informative.
It's such a great app. These guys have put so much into it, you know.
Right.
It is.
I did reach out to Chad because I said I was really I was like, that sounds really, really cool, right? And he said it's not in the US yet. So is it across Canada or
it's across Canada. I think he said that they were in the States when they first started, but then I'm not sure the whole deal, but I think they had started when they first started. It was that ambitious, but then they cut it down and wanted to make sure that they could perfect Canada first. Like they really, they're a Canadian product, and they really wanted to make sure that they got it right. And I'll tell you, these guys have got it right. Yeah. Like I can go out, and when I click on the management units, it'll tell me what's in season. It'll tell me my limits. You know, it'll tell me when I can hunt, when I can't hunt, where I can hunt.
That's a no-brainer.
You know, and when I go hiking,
and it's really easily laid out.
It is. It's very user friendly.
Yeah.
You know, and even when I go canoeing, I'll put it in my pocket. Yeah, I'll put it in my pocket, and I'll put track, and I'll go kayaking or canoeing or whatever. And when I get back, I've got my whole route that I just did.
Oh, it's kind of like Onyx. Is that?
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of the same. Yeah, it's kind of the same concept as Onyx. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The thing with I can see with this thing is that I mean they would have to constantly monitor, you know, the crown lands and stuff like that, because it would be updated you would have to update it every year, because
I'm sure
some sections of land would get sold off to private properties and stuff like that.
Wow, that's really cool.
And some of the parks do change from non-operating parks to operating parks too, right?
Right.
So
right. But I think it's like what you said. It is the story. It's about real people doing real stuff, right? And there's something about, you know, a couple that gets to do it together. Like that's kind of people, we know it's not a phenomenon and, you know, in our world, but I mean, people go, wow, these two are a couple. They want to do it together. Get out of here. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, it's like my brother said, you know, the hunting days used to be all the guys go hunting. Well, who better to go with? If I'm going to go do it, you know, my solo nights were fun.
That's a good thanks, babe.
You know, my solo nights were okay. but I've said it in one of my videos. Like, I realized after being out that one night, especially winter camping, how much more work I've got to do and stuff that I missed when she wasn't there.
Yeah.
And the companionship to do, right? You know?
Agreed.
She makes
in that order, so I don't have to work as hard. And yeah, I got someone to talk to at least.
That's right.
Thanks.
I don't have to be around, you know? Oh my God. You guys have been awesome. This is the longest that we've chatted with anybody.
We're over.
Really?
12.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Sorry
much.
to take up so much of your time.
No, not at
Oh
all.
my God. Are you kidding?
No, this is great.
No, this has been
But you know what? After,
wait,
after that 100th episode the other night, that went on. So I stayed for the whole thing. And yeah, you're right. It was like close to 4 hours or something. I stayed the whole show. That was and good on him, for everything that he's done. Dennis, Canoe Hound.
So good.
We met a lot of awesome people through him.
Oh yeah. It's been
you guys do a really great show.
Thank you.
Oh,
and I will say,
thank you so very much.
As much as everybody has congratulated him and said what he's done for the community and bringing the family together, which he has, I want you guys to know that you're doing the same thing. You're bringing a whole new aspect to this that people, like you said yourself, like people don't really realize that it's out there or don't know that it's okay to go do this. Or that it's cool to go do this.
Yeah,
you know, and you're bringing a whole community together. So for what you guys are doing, like, thank you very much, and for even thinking of us to have us on the show. Like, it's absolutely phenomenal.
I didn't faint. Thank you.
Yes, you didn't faint.
I made it.
And you were worried about nothing.
You have no idea. I was terrified.
Okay, you have to watch the rewind when you're done tomorrow, whatever it is, and you were
while you're dehydrating some more vegetables.
I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I can do that.
She doesn't even like watching the videos after I edit them.
Oh no, this has been so fun, and everybody right now in the chat saying great couple. Oh my God, amazing. We look forward to it. Just amazing. So you guys, I'm so glad.
I'm gonna go back and watch it just so I can go through the chat
because the chat is too fun.
To keep up with it. Yeah.
Oh gosh. So
and to everybody who came in tonight, hi, thank you very much for tuning in. Like, we love everybody, you know.
He's gonna put
before we all jet out of here.
Yeah, put the YouTube in there.
So I'm gonna put their YouTube.
How do I do this? Let me just get all your.
Have you guys figured out the YouTube algorithm?
Oh, don't be silly.
I'm so done with it.
Oh,
I know. I'm so done with it. You know what?
It's crazy.
It's like I said to Sabrina. I'm going to put this out for the people who want to watch it. I'm not worried. The only thing I want out of YouTube is 100 subscribers so I can change the name to Ontario
we got to get you
Couple.
there. We got to get you.
Yeah, because I hate being a numerical.
You
know what I mean? The name.
Right. YouTube.
So that's the only thing I want. 100 subscribers so I can change the name.
Oh, it's going to happen so fast because you guys are awesome at what you do. And it's the real deal. And you have so much to offer and so much to share. It's very exciting.
We hope so. We hope so.
We really do.
Oh, you guys got a great thing. So everybody, I put their YouTube, Instagram, and their web page in the chat.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Everybody, go check them out, please.
Oh my gosh. So
that would be awesome.
Rob and Sabrina.
Thank you
so much.
You can all
thank you.
share in their adventures, this big trip that they're all going on.
I'm excited. Yeah. And I'm excited to meet you guys. I really hope that
hopefully when you guys come up here, we get to run into you guys before you get off into your trip. That'd be really nice.
We'll bring you some chaga.
Yeah.
Ooh, not in a package, honey. Like the real deal.
All right, thank you.
All right. So stick around.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to drop you down. We're going to do a little outro.
Don't go anywhere.
All right. Okay.
All right.
We're 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Wowzers.
That was awesome.
That was so awesome. Thank you. Holy moly. Yeah. You had a good interactive chat.
A great interactive chat. Everybody, awesome. We have awesome people in chat every week.
I know. And I made notes tonight. Like, there's a few things that we're going to kind of
check out, the last guy, cool. Algonquin, camping with Steve.
We got about the maps, the cow top stuff. So...
I already know about that.
Oh, you knew about that one? I wrote it down because I was like, I wasn't familiar with that. But and high energy, lots of good stories.
Yeah.
You know. So...
Oh, I know it, Ari.
We weren't talking like that. There might have been some out and about.
Out and about.
That's about it. But no one said process, and maybe maple butter came up. That's about it. That's the only Canadian stuff that came out.
Just a few times. It's in your blood.
And I think maybe Molson might have been mentioned once as well. That's all I got.
Not Labatt.
Not Labatt. I don't know. Crazy. Anyways, awesome show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For sure. And
all of our friends in the chat, you guys are you're all awesome.
Super fun. Always. Backcountry couples next Thursday. We'll post on Monday who we've got next week.
And when we say we, I mean she.
Yeah. And just like Rob and Sabrina said, watch the rewind. Like, it's kind of fun what we missed, but kind of what you want to relive again.
Someone might get a little distracted. You're looking at the chat and you miss something a little minute thing that might have been said.
Right. And same thing. So, like I said, we have 2 more spots to fill for May. So, if you're a backcountry couple, or you know somebody, give us a message because clearly it's fun. It's
every time
a lot of good story sharing, and it usually ends up with a lot of good giggles. So
totally.
Rob and Sabrina, Ontario camping couple, check them out, and thanks to them for a great 2 hours of sharing with us, for sure.
100%.
I know.
All right, y'all. You have an awesome upcoming weekend. Have a great Friday.
And enjoy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. Enjoy your Easter with your families if you can.
You got it.
If not, enjoy yourself, whatever you do.
That's right.
But get outside. And we'll see you all on the next quest.
All right.